Hello everyone and welcome to another video here on Sam's Crafty Castle, and today I'm doing something that I think is really fun. So this frame, my mom and I bought that when I was in high school, and it was meant to hold all of the senior pictures I was going to get from my friends that year, and it's been just hanging out since then. And to be fair, I didn't even know I had it anymore. I thought I got rid of it, and when I was moving and packing things up, I found it and decided that I still thought it was a really cool frame, even though it's a little bit broken, but I still thought it was really cool, and I realized that I could totally make something to go in there. So I decided to cut up what you're watching me do here, a whole bunch of 2x3 rectangles, because that's the size of the old school picture, kind of things. And yeah, I decided to make something. So this is going to be like a year-long series-ish. That makes it sound like I'm doing that video every week for a year, but I'm not. It's like every couple months, maybe. Every month to every 2 months. And I want to do seasonal little decorations for this frame. So it's February, so we're doing Valentine's theme today. And what I've done is I've cut up, there's 10 slots in the frame, and I've cut up 5 pieces of, well, I didn't cut up 5 pieces. I cut up like 2 pieces of Yupo paper into 5 2x3 rectangles. And I actually only ended up using 4 because one of them doesn't come out, which I did cut out of the video, I'm not going to lie. And then I also cut up 10/eventually 11 pieces of just some white cardstock that I had. And it's just for fun. But I thought this was a really cool idea, and like I said, it'll be kind of like a year-long series. Every couple months we're doing Valentine's Day today. I'm also using the Gina K Designs kit, which is probably no longer available at the time you're seeing this, but the individual pieces should be, just not available as the kit. She probably almost has the next one out by the time you watch this, but that's not the point. So I'm playing with alcohol inks here. I'm not going to even try to tell you what I'm doing, because here's the truth. This is only the second time I've ever used my alcohol inks, and I'm not out here to be giving you advice. Because my advice right now, my strategy to alcohol inks right now, is just put things on the paper and squirt air at it. And that's it. That's all I've got for my alcohol inks right now. This is literally I've had them for probably 3-4 years now, and this is probably the second time I've used them. And they are one of those supplies in my stash that I really have been trying and wanting, not necessarily trying, obviously I haven't succeeded, but wanting to use more of. And this felt like the perfect sort of safe space to explore with them and play with them. So I pulled out all the pink and purple and red alcohol inks that I have, which pink, purple, and red are pretty much my favorite colors, so they're the ones I have the most of. And, oh, you know what, now that I think about it, it might only be 2 years, but still, either way, I don't play with them enough. And I just spend some time playing with them, and, this is when you have new supplies in your stash like this, whether it's new markers or stamp sets or like foiling things, like anything that's like brand new to you. Not everyone is like this, but for me, the best thing I can do is just get in there and start playing with it and see what happens. Usually like foiling, I get the gist. I get the idea. I'll watch a couple videos. I did the same thing with alcohol inks. When I was first looking into buying them, I watched a whole bunch of videos from Jennifer and a few from Mindy Egan, and a couple, Gina had done one not long before I started kind of exploring them a little bit. And I just try to get familiar with, to decide if it's even something I want or something I'm interested in. But then once I get it, the best way for me to learn about them and how to use them is to just start playing with them. So definitely, if you have, this is your challenge from me, which I think I may have already previously challenged you to this, but I'm challenging it to you again if I have. My challenge to you today, this week, next month, whenever you happen to be watching this video, is to find something in your stash that feels underutilized and try to learn, especially if it's something that scares you. Maybe it's your electronic die cut machine. That's what I see a lot of times, that people are a little nervous about getting into. Maybe it's your colored pencils or your alcohol markers or your watercolors. just get in there and start playing with them. It's okay if it doesn't come out. It's just paper. You can do it again. One of these did not come out at all. And I cut it out of the video. I should have honestly left it in there, but still, hopefully as time goes on, I'll get to using the alcohol inks a little bit more, and I'll actually make an explanation video of how to use them. Or my strategies to use them and all that stuff. But really, it's about, sometimes you just gotta play with it to get familiar with what you got going on. So that's basically all I was doing. And like this alcohol lifting, this is actually really cool. I've never really played with it before. And I read the directions on the back of it and realized that I can actually do that. And, lift up the alcohol ink and then use it as a stamp on another piece. So you'll see like this piece not very thought out with where I placed the hearts and things, because I didn't really think it was going to work, but it did. I mean, sometimes you gotta trust the directions. But yeah, basically that's the lesson of this part of the video, is just get your stuff out and try it if you haven't. If you have something sitting around that scares you or you're a little bit intimidated by, because that's how I felt about these alcohol inks for a long time. But actually, they're super fun, and it's really kind of is a little bit relaxing to just make random backgrounds. Like, I tend to think a little bit too much still when I do ink blending, like ink blended backgrounds and stuff, or coloring, but this was really fun because it was like, the alcohol ink gonna do what the alcohol ink gonna do, and I can't make it do anything else. Now, some people can. I've seen some crazy stuff with, like, professional alcohol ink people who can do some really cool and, like massively awesome art, but it's just fun, and that's that. Okay, next thing on the list, I actually started talking about this earlier, but I didn't finish, so we're gonna circle back to that, which is the rest of these videos. So I have one planned for this one, which is February, Valentine's Day themed. I'm going to do a springtime themed one in March. I'm going to do an Easter themed one in April. I don't think I'm going to change it for May. I may change it back to the spring theme for May. And then not do a video because it'll be the same one, but I'll just flip out the cards to be spring. And then I'm going to do, June is my birthday, so I'm going to do a birthday theme in June. July, I'm thinking of doing a 4th of July theme. May just do a generic summer theme. Haven't decided. August will probably be, if I do summer in July, August will probably stay summer. If I do 4th of July in July, August may switch to fall. And then fall would be the same. So August and September would be both fall. And then October will be Halloween. November may switch back to fall. May do something special for Thanksgiving. Might just go back to fall. And then December, I couldn't remember what the last month was. December will be a Christmas winter theme. And then when I do December will be Christmas. January I'll do something winter themed. So it'll be a little more than a year, because we'll go to next January since we're starting in February. So that's the plan. And I think I'm going to challenge myself after just having that really long alcohol ink conversation with y'all, that I think I'm going to try to challenge myself to try and use some things that I've been neglecting, or just techniques that I haven't visited in a long time, or, stuff like that. Stuff that needs a little bit of love in my craft room. I'm not promising I'm going to stick to that, because someone will come out with something, some stamp set or something, and I will buy it. I kind of did that with this kit. The Lovely Notes stamp set was exactly what I was thinking of using for this project, and I actually ended up not using it as much as I thought. I went with a lot more of the die cuts. The Love You Trio really got me with this one. So I think sometimes things work out differently than you planned. So what am I doing? Oh yes, I'm putting the glue on this little die cut. I just used the micro dots from Simon Says Stamp. I dug those out of my drawer the other day for that Kendra's Card Challenge video that you guys saw last week, and now I'm like, why they stay on the top of the drawer now, because they've come in handy more than once. This part is where I started to get nervous, because all of a sudden I realized, oh wait, I'm making all of these horizontal, and not all of them can be horizontal because some of them need to be vertical. And oops, so I put in the 3 ones that I had already done horizontal so that I knew, and then I actually just leave these other 2 alcohol ink ones plain. I don't do anything, or the other alcohol ink one plain. I don't do anything to them. They're just there to be cute little accent pieces. I don't stamp anything on them or do anything like that, which is for this project specifically, the other nice thing about the alcohol inks is I could just use them as sort of plain little things. This stamp set that I'm using here is from the Lovely Note stamp set, and I love this little swooshy heart banner, I guess, for lack of a better word, for it. I guess, what else would you call it? It's like light hearts, like Christmas lights, but with hearts. So it's like a heart banner kind of thing. I actually was thinking when I was doing this that I kind of want to try to do this with some easy lights potentially. That's not going to happen this year, I don't think. At least before Valentine's Day, but we can make love cards all year round, so maybe we'll do that again. But it's not happening this Valentine's Day. But that's all I did with that one, and I'll actually pull it back here in a minute because I will end up deciding that I want to add some sparkles to it. And I will say I should have just used a sparkle pen. I used these scrapbook.com color pops that I got from Crop and Create. And their Glitter Snowflake is the color name. And it made it a little bit too thick. Like, it still fits in the frame, but it's a little too thick. It's a little, I don't know what else to say. Or to call that. But yeah, it's a little too bumpy. That's the right word. It's a little too bumpy. And pushes out the frame a little bit, but it's okay. It does. These are just plastic little things, so it works out fine. Here we go. I'm going to put the color pops on. And then I had stamped the 2 little birds from the Lovely Note stamp set as well. And I'll do the same thing eventually with them too, and go ahead. And I just colored them very simply with Copics, by the way. And then I'll go ahead and I will put the same little color pops on their heart in the middle too. But I didn't do any crazy coloring on this one. I could have. And maybe, that might be a theme one time where I'll try to do more, like, coloring. Because, honestly, I do that. And, like, I do it on the kit and color classes. And then I don't always put the skills I have into practice on my cards. So, I'm getting ahead on videos now. So, hopefully, I can make some videos that stuff takes longer and are a little bit more complicated. Just because I've managed to get quite a bit ahead, honestly. From the time I'm filming this to when you're seeing it is a very decent amount of time. And it's me. I couldn't resist doing some ink blending. Again, I just did very simple, like, soft background was all I was going for. There goes the color pops again. So I just did this one in Wild Lilac, and then I think I used the medium carnation for this pink one. And I'm just I had cut out that love from the Love You trio, and I'm just going to glue it on into a shape. And this next one I'm going to start talking about now. I think it's the next one I do. It has to be. Because it's a little more complicated, and this one actually also doesn't come out super great. I'm not going to lie. It does not come out the way I should take that back. It does not come out the way I envisioned it in my head. It's okay though. It's fine. I just could have improved the spacing a little bit. But basically, what I'm going to do is take the negative from this love die cut, and I'm going to use it as a stencil, which again is one of those things I always kind of forget to do. I don't know if forget to do is the right thing, but still, I can do that kind of moments with these, so I'm just moving the little thing around to get the letters where I want them to. And what I should have done is move the E over. I was nervous about having enough room, and I should have just moved the E over like a half an inch, not even, maybe like a quarter inch, and it would have been totally fine. But I didn't do that, so oh well. It's okay. It still looks okay. And honestly, I hide it in the back. I put it in one of the back slots on the frame, so you don't really even notice it. You don't notice it at all. So, and I did half of it off screen too, so you don't actually get to even see me like do most of it because I wasn't paying attention. I think I was starting to get tired by this point. But you'll see it at the end. And then I have 2 other little squares to fill, which, there we go. There it is. Now it's done. It still looks okay. I should have put some little hearts or something on it. Honestly, that would have been cute. And then we just hide it in the background so nobody knows it's the one that's not perfect. We put that one in, and then we have one left to do, I believe. Yep. And you can see where I have to pull that apart to get the thing in there. Okay, this is the last one. I had to do a massive heat embossing project right after I finished filming this for my cousin who is getting married in March. It's like 3 weeks from when you're watching this video. And they wanted me to do some heat embossing on something that they're doing at their wedding. And I was getting ready for that in my head when I was finishing this, and I was like, I should do heat embossing on this project, like as a warm-up. So I decided to stamp this Happy Valentine's Day from 18 Design stamp set, which I should have linked down below, in this Brutus Monroe scrapbooking cards today embossing powder. It's called Prettiest Pink. I love it. Pink is my color, though. We all know this. So it's a fun embossing powder that I have, and it's a very Valentine's Day pink. So I just heat embossed that, real simple. And then, I do have this last one. I forgot all about this one. I'm going to use the little envelope from Lovely Notes, and I'm going to heat emboss this one in the Brutus Monroe Rainbow Sparkle embossing powder. This is so pretty. This embossing powder is so sparkly, and it's the only glitter embossing powder I have. Yes, it is. So, I actually need to kind of remember to visit Brutus Monroe again one of these days and get some more of their sparkly embossing powders. Because they're really, really pretty, and they're really, really sparkly, and it's really, really fun. So we're going to heat that. You're probably not going to be able to see it on camera, but I am going to hold it up closer to the camera in a moment so that you can see it a little bit better. But it's a clear embossing powder, so there it is, and it's just really, really sparkly. And I'm going to take the Gina K Designs Red Hot ink, because we're doing reds. And because I only had that one red thing on there, so I was like, okay, I should add another one. And we're just going to ink blend over that. So it's a little bit of an embossed resist situation. Again, one of the most underestimated techniques that are in the back of my head, and I never use them, and I need to be better about that. So I don't need to be better about that, but we got to pull out these techniques. We're always looking for the next new thing, and sometimes we forget to go back to old favorites, and that's, an old favorite. So we're going to slip this in, and we're going to finish putting the other 2 in, and then that's it. So I'm going to show you some pictures, and I just want to say that I do have, I'm trying out a new photo editing software, and you probably won't see it much in the video because the video kind of clips it out. But in the Instagram post for this, you will see it. It will say, photo edited with the name of the software. They partner with the video editor that I use, and I'm, just exploring and playing around with that. So that's it. If you notice this watermark, eventually I will decide if I'm going to upgrade or not, and that'll be that. So thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and comment down below, and I will see you again next time, and have a crafty day.